got a lot of people that have a dominant plan A. They're not used to going to their plan B. When they when they get out of their plan A, they look lost. Like you take Spence versus Crawford. Once his jab was taken away, he had to start combinations off with something other than the jab. He looked lost out there, and I think that's what happened to Robisi last night. His plan A was taken away. He looked like he just didn't know what he was doing, you know. But that was crazy too. Tommy Bundle said Regis, Ramirez, Taylor were B level fighters getting beat by A level talent in To and Devin. Um, I can't even argue that. You can definitely say To and Devin are A level fighters. You could definitely say that for sure. Regis, Ramirez, and Taylor. I would have argued Taylor was a A minus fighter maybe when he was going on his run. But I know what my eyes seen in terms of just what he does inside the ring. So I thought Taylor was a B level fighter, even though he had A level status. You know what I mean? Um, Tommy Bundles, Regis, not half as good as Tank. Oh no, not at all. Not at all. We ain't debating that at all. Vlog said he said the fool talking about MMA maybe next if no world title shot. Who you talking about, bro? I don't even know who you talking. You know who you talking about, bro?
Nah.
Hey, Vlog, come back in. Let me know who you talking about. Jay Brumfield in the building, man. Big shout out to you, bro. He said Tito is overrated. And Tank hasn't been in there with a boxer. Um, I'm not gonna say Tio was overrated. To be honest with you, Tio should be undefeated. To be perfectly honest. Um, so I'm not gonna say he's overrated because if you have Tio in your pound for pound list, then I feel like that's overrated. You know what I mean? I feel like that's overrated. And Tank hasn't been in there with a real boxer. Like he about to fight Pitbull Cruz again. Ain't nobody trying to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, but like nobody's trying. There was nothing about the first fight that made me be like, damn, I want to see that again. Like I'm cool on that. Like you know what I'm saying? But bro, question, bro, did as far as Haney and Prograis, do you think it was more so Haney being great or just Prograis just being terrible last night?
I think it just had to be more with a little bit of both. Haney displayed everything. He not just the offense, but his footwork. He was also moving good, and Prograis just couldn't capitalize on anything. But yeah, I think it was a little bit of both, man. Like Prograis, man, he got to go back to the drawing board. He got to go back and camp and really work on things. Really work on things. But yeah,
Which
Haney, you know what Haney can do. Haney's got the speed, he's got the youth. It was a 9-year age difference. You know what I mean? So Haney, yeah, I think Haney is just that good. He shows it a bit over and over, and he don't got popping his punches like that, but he definitely he's beating the brakes off these guys, man. Like all these guys' faces busted up after these fights.
Yeah, he got a clean knockdown though. He got it. That knockdown was clean.
True.
That
And
knockdown was
yeah,
clean.
yeah.
I was like, he looked better at 140 physically. He looked better. His
Mm-hmm.
face looked better.
Mm-hmm.
Skin tone, all those things that you notice when guys are cutting weight, trying to make weight. All of the things that signifies a person being dehydrated or really had a tough weight cut. Haney
Mm-hmm.
had none of that. He had none of that. He looked fresh. He looked ready. Um, and he put on that Mayweather type performance that I was asking for. That was his coming out party last night because
Facts.
he to be honest with you, Floyd ain't sell nothing out at 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't Floyd didn't sell out a 16, 17,000 seat stadium, you know what I'm saying, arena. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, I'll cap that off with and Haney also had Prograis on his stanky leg somewhere in the middle round, so he
He
almost
did.
put him down again.
He
So yeah,
did. He
and
did.
and the
For
crazy
sure.
thing is, man, it said Prograis landed 36 punches, man. You do the math,
Yeah,
that's like 3 punches around, bro. So
but
it's like he did nothing.
that's why I asked, like, was it more Haney being great or was it Regis just being terrible? Like, and I think it's a legit question because I think it's a question you have to ask because when you only land 36 punches in a championship fight and it went 12,
Facts.
it went 12. You know what I mean? It went 12. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Padman McGriff in building. He said, ha ha, I'm laughing my ass off. And good thing I didn't want to get up and go make the bed. Oh man, Regis is 35, and basically that was his biggest payday of his career, and he had that belt for how much time? Um, he didn't have it for that. He didn't have it for that long. He didn't have it for that long. But I mean, Pavan and I spoke yesterday, and it was really in a sense of if Regis is on his A game, this is how it should look. I don't think anyone I don't think anyone thought Regis would be that bad. Like that was bad, bro. Like that was really bad. Like that was bad. Like it was really that was one of the worst, I would say, probably like performances from a champion
Mhm.
like that I've seen in a while, man. Like I like his performance was so bad it made Haney look that much better. Like it made him look like he was Superman in there. Like when what Haney was doing, Legend, is not anything that he didn't usually do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like ones, one twos, one, two,
mhm.
threes, pivot
Yep.
and move. Only thing he really added really was the Mayweather straight right hand. He threw that a little bit more.
Mhm.
Other than that, that was it. But Regis was historically bad last night.
Yeah, man.
Historically bad.
Yeah, he did more at the press conference than he did in that ring. He
Yeah,
definitely did not back up what he did at that press conference, man. And
I
I hate that with fighters, man. Like you could
yeah,
take Anthony Durrell and Caleb Plant. Anthony Durrell did do good offensively, but he just got clipped bad. And I just hate when fighters, talk so much trash and it just don't show in the ring. Take Wilder and Sterling in the rematch. Mr. Vern did
yeah.
mad trash talking at that the press conference got blown out in the first round. So I just hate when guys do that and they don't show what they can do in that ring. You know what I mean? So he just did more at the press conference than in the ring.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because it's like again, it was so many questions in regards to Haney going into the fight because it's like it's your first fight at 140. You coming off the Lomachenko fight. You just dropped all your belts at 135. You're fighting at home. There's a lot of question marks with Haney going into the fight. And also another thing that wasn't really talked about is Padman McGriff didn't work with Haney for this fight, where he worked with him the previous, I would say, 2 years. You know what I mean? So you had to factor that in as well. So there was a lot of underlying things with Haney that you didn't know the answers to going into the fight. And I think that was a lot of the reason why Regis was getting a heavy push in terms of like, hey, Regis got a legit shot. But like Regis was historically bad. I can't emphasize that enough. He was really, really, really bad. And it's like it's to the point you be like, how did he become champion? Like that's how bad he looked last night. Like, and it's sad because I don't take any pleasure in saying that, but he was really, really bad last night, man. So going back to the drawing board is an understatement. He needs to really evaluate who he gets in the ring with. He might be at a point in his career now. He really needs to um, try to pay attention to who he gets in the ring with based off of style.
Yeah,
When you a bad man, you really don't care who you get in the ring with, but he might be at a point to where he really needs to strategize who he gets in the ring with and when he gets in the ring with them. But you coming off them last two performances, you may not even be in a position to even make those moves. The promoter be like, hey, you either fight this person or you on the shelf. You know how I
Yeah.
go.
Well, do you think this falls on his trainer as well?
You said, do I think it falls on his trainer?
Yeah, because his trainer did a lot of trash talking at the press conference too. But you still got a guy in your corner to listen to. I mean, he's not performing well. So I mean, it can be him, it could be his trainer, it could be both. Like, but he's got to really like reevaluate some things, man. Maybe change a trainer or just do something in the gym where he's got to be better offensively, man.
I if I don't know if Padman McGriff is still on or listening. But I guess if you are listening, my question for you is if Regis comes knocking on your door, is that a person you would work with? And secondly, can you honestly do anything with him right now going forward? I would love for Padman to give me an answer to that. I don't know if you busy, but if you want to jump on, just throw something in the comment section. I'll shoot you the link. But at this point, as a coach, can you do anything with a guy where number one, you might have to rebuild him up confidence wise? You trying to build somebody confidence up in their mid-30s, like off of two. And let's be clear, he shouldn't have won the last fight. Let's be clear on that. He didn't win that last fight, but I think they gave him a decision because they wanted to set this up. You know what I mean? It's boxing's a business at the end of the day. So Padman, if you on, bro, just to repeat the question, man, if Regis comes knocking on your door, would you answer that? Would you work with him? And can you honestly do anything with him at this point? Jay Brumfield, he said at 140, T.O. had 3 fights. The prior to the Taylor fight, he arguably lost one and struggled in the other one. So the thing is, Jay, T.O., when you get up to a certain level, your fights are not supposed to be easy. Like they're not supposed to be cakewalks. So if you have a couple 8-4s, 7-5s, you struggled in some rounds against guys. When you get to this high level, man, like it's all about getting the dub. It's all about getting the dub. And I think he really just had one bad night against Kambosos. Kambosos is trash truck juice, man. He is straight trash truck juice. Like I just think he had a bad night. But Tio is one of the more talented fighters in the sport. And Padman used to train with him too. You know what I'm saying? When he was younger. So physically gifted inside the ring. And he just bring a lot to the table, man. So we're gonna see where he goes. Chris G in the building, my dog. What's up with you, bro? He said Regis broke a record of landing the least amount of punches in a 12-round fight.
Well, he threw a lot, but he just landed the least.
That's
So
the embarrassing part. At least if I'm going to break that record, at least I'm gonna be like, yeah, but the guy was throwing smoke, man. I just kept my hands in my pocket all night. He was in there. That's like you letting off a full clip. You don't hit nothing. You hitting windows and walls and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't hit nobody. You got an automatic clip.
Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but man, I think a journeyman could did better than that. Landed more punches.
Yeah. I mean, you said 36?
He landed 36. That's like
that's
three
three
punches around. That's bad, man.
I ain't got a college degree, but I know 12 into 36 equals 3.
Yeah,
That is bad. That is absolutely terrible, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Chris G, hold on.
you read that
That's the
one,
same. I think he put the same joint in there twice.
Yeah.
Jay Brumfield, he said we forgot T.O. questioned himself and crying in the ring. So, the thing about that is, I can see what you're saying about that. First of all, you can make the argument that he lost that fight. I'll meet you in the middle of the street with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll meet you in the middle of the street with that. But That was a very difficult opponent, very difficult opponent. And regardless of what people think, he got through it. And I know a lot of these fighters be going through stuff and things like that. Jay, look at it like this: he could have went through all that and lost and not recovered. But the thing is, he did recover. So he did show you some metal, showed you some resolve. You know what I'm saying? So, but I hear what you're saying though. I definitely hear what you're saying, bro. English guy, what up? What up? What up? My God, Blaze Philly 215. What's up, bro? Um, Fantasy League playoffs coming up. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Blaze Philly 215. Jay said Regis felt that pillow fist right, was hesitant all night. Oh man. Yo, that's funny. That is funny. Nah, that right hand was clean though, man. I gotta give it to him. And Regis' face looked like he was in a little small car wreck for sure. So um yeah, for sure. English guy, Haney's never gonna be a real puncher, but last night shows the feather fist thing is bullshit. Maybe because of the weight or just growing, but he had enough pop last night. Um, a guy can stay at a division too long. And if you think about it, he was fighting at 130, I mean, from the beginning of his career, basically. So that's a good point. It's definitely a good point, but he looked more comfortable physically in the ring. He looked more comfortable. Like, and I don't know if it was because Regis was so bad, but you know, that was just a terrible performance, man. Like, it's I haven't seen a fighter fight that bad, like that bad that he's starting to taint the victory of the guy that looked good. You know what I mean? You'd be like, damn, was he really that bad, or was Haney that good? Like, you know what I mean? It was that bad of a performance from Regis. Padman said Regis progress, his thought process was not in the right category after the weigh-in, and people always want to show that they have more balls than they usually have. What he should have did was smile and kept it quiet. Um, yeah, I mean, it's when you do that heavy promotion and you talking that talk like that, man, you can't have that performance. You can't have that performance like that. I mean, Pat, man, I'm sure for you, that's like somebody talking a bunch of trash in the gym, and then they go in and start sparring, and they just running around the ring. You gonna be like, yo, what the hell you doing? What was all that talk for? You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Um, for sure. You know what I mean? Um, Bruce Gas in the building says salute my brother G5. Big shout out to you, Bruce Gas. Go subscribe to his channel as well, man. He got one of the best channels out there, man. Big shout out to Bruce for sure. Pat, man, you know what I'm gonna say, champ. Same thing with most of these fighters now. They don't know short, mid, and long range. They know one style, and they're fighting people to match up their one style. I agree with that. We talked about that yesterday. We definitely talked about that yesterday. There's three levels: there's short range, mid range, and long range. And a lot of guys only know how to fight one out of the three. And the ones that know how to fight two out of the three, they may not be able to judge distance well. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So there's so many elements to the game. English guy Regis is clearly not the fighter that arguably beat Taylor. But I think even that version would have struggled based on last night. Yeah, I agree. But if the Regis that showed up against Taylor showed up last night, he probably lands about. He may not land, like 100 punches, but it would have been more so maybe like 70 or 80. He'd have definitely doubled the punches landed. You know what I mean? Uh, said Jay Tank is a boxer that can bang, so he really is the total package. He is, you know what I mean? Like he's the total package for sure. But the thing about it with Tank is you don't know how Tank is gonna do against a guy that's skilled. I don't know what he's gonna do against a T.O. I don't know what he's gonna do against a Haney. You know what I'm saying? Because he has to get through athleticism and another guy that has a good a good work ethic, and they have a good IQ. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to get through all that. He hasn't fought anybody in his career to where he had to get through those aspects. So yes, he's the total package, but he's not proven against, you know what I'm saying, a guy of, I don't think he's fought a B plus fighter yet. And nobody give me Leo Santa Cruz. He's not a A level fighter. He's not a, you know, he's not an A
Yeah,
minus fighter. He's not a B plus fighter.
yeah. Santa Cruz, he just throws flurries of punches. Like he's reckless with it, and like it just took Tank one shot. But like Haney would be moving a lot more. Haney would be more defensively responsible. Like fighting Tank, because Tank's got that one hitter quitter power that could really put you out. So I could see Haney definitely being more defensively responsible using his footwork. Trying to avoid Tank, landing that one big shot. So it's an interesting fight, but do I think it will happen? Nah, not
Yeah,
anytime soon.
yeah. As long as Floyd got anything to say about it, he's not. Yeah, He's not gonna do anything like that. You know what I mean? Can Tank and Pitbull Cruz, they gotta be they bugging.
Yeah,
They
I honestly don't want to see that
I
debate,
don't
man.
want to see that
I've been
shit.
seeing the rumors. I've been seeing I've been saying the banners and stuff for it. But I mean, if that's the route they're
Man,
gonna go, I don't want to see it. But I know what's it, Calvin Ford was saying a while back that they had some big things lined up for Tank. But if it's
I
Pitbull Cruz, man,
if it's Pitbull Cruz, man, any fight Tank goes in and he's the taller fighter, I don't want to see that shit, bro. I don't want to see that shit, man. Got my dog in the building, man. VP Shane in the building. What's up, bro?
I ain't got much time, but yeah,
Hey,
what's up?
cool, man. I appreciate every second you can give us, man. Hey, man, give us a rundown of what you saw last night, bro.
I heard a couple of people talk in the comments about Regis's age. I don't think it's got anything to do with Regis's age. I felt like people need to start looking at what the facts are. People don't walk through Devin Haney's punches. This idea that Devin Haney doesn't have punch power because he doesn't knock dudes out, it's the same as Dimitri Bivol. Bivol don't knock dudes out neither, but people ain't walking through his punches. Like he keeps people honest with that power, and it's like I'm gonna keep you at that front door, and you ain't getting in. Like you gotta understand. And people talking about Tank, bro. I've always said this. Tank's never fought no one who's got good feet. So this idea that Tank's just gonna knock Devin out because he's got punch power. I don't know what people are looking at, bro. Tank doesn't. You guys are all boxing fans. Show me the fight where Tank walks down the fight. Show me the fight. When was the last time we saw Tank walk someone down? I'm waiting for an answer, by the way, because you guys are boxing. I'm Jeff, Legend. Anyone? Can you guys tell me what was the fight?
I think Tank he's the guy that sets the trap. Yeah, the guys come forward, and Tank's the one that sets the traps. But yeah, I can't say he really walked anybody down. So
you're 100% right. He's the guy who sets a trap. You're setting a trap for a dude who naturally fights off the back foot. And not even just off the back foot, sorry, naturally fights at long range. Tank don't knock dudes out at long range. He knocks dudes out at close range when they're coming in, when they fall in. When he knocked down Ryan the first time, he caught Ryan in transition. We knocked out Rolly's falling in. When he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz overcommits on a punch. When does he create the trap for someone who's keeping the distance? I want to see the long range knockout. That's what I want to see. Because in between that time, all you're going to see is Devin just win the fight on the stick. Because Devin's got that jab that will keep everyone honest at 140. Everyone honest at 135.
Yeah, with Haney is, but we said it yesterday. I'm like, if Regis is just gonna let him keep it at a distance and just keep the jab pumping. If he don't do anything to get him out of his rhythm, he was gonna have a long night.
But you said it though, Jeff. You said it. He's gonna have to take a few to land a few. He felt that power and wasn't willing to take a few, bro. That's what it is. Like Jojo Diaz fought Devin Haney and thought, you know what? I'm just gonna take some to land some. Regis didn't want to feel that power, and that's like power at 140, bro. He didn't want to feel that.
And Chris G said he set the record for least amount of punches landed on CompuBox. I guess in the
38.
championship fight. And
For a championship fight that went 12 rounds, he landed the least amount of punches. He landed 38 punches. That's less than 4 punches a round.
Hey Shane, do you think it was Haney being great, or more so Regis just being historically bad?
I just think Regis, as I said, Devin Haney's strengths are Regis's weaknesses. Devin's got long arms. Devin's got good feet. Regis got short arms. Regis got slow feet. Devin Haney has just fought the best footwork fighter we've ever seen in this era in Lomachenko. He learned so much in terms of footwork from that fight. There is nothing Regis can do in terms of footwork that Devin wouldn't know how to deal with. He knew how to pivot left and right. So when you're looking at those ingredients, you're looking at someone who, I don't want to say Regis weren't qualified for this, but he wasn't qualified for this, bro. Like, Devin Haney has done Regis Prograis doesn't do anything better than Lomachenko other than he has more punch power. The problem with that is you need your feet to set the punches. What did Regis say after the fight? I just couldn't catch this dude. I couldn't get close to this dude. Your only form of transportation in a boxing ring is your feet. And if your feet ain't in the right place, bro, you're never going to close the distance. And that's the same for Tank as well. That's the exact same for Tank.
Yeah, Tank would have the same question to answer against any of these top level guys, man. He goes in there with Teofimo. He got to answer that question. If he gets in there with a Devin Haney, he got to answer that question. Even if it's somebody like a Shakur, like he's going to have to answer that question. Like, can you execute your game plan against a highly skilled, highly athletic person?
Someone who's going to get you to
have some feet.
Yeah.
But if you notice, I think Floyd knows that too. That's why they're very strategic in terms of who they put him in the ring with. And I'm not saying that Tank can't go in there and get W's against these guys. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he has a different level of challenges that he would have to face.
Devin, what are you saying, Jeff? These Tank fans have more confidence in Tank than he has in himself.
Absolutely, and I think he'll get in the ring with anybody, but he's so protected. Like, he don't even realize he's protected. He's so protected, like, it's insane, man. But like, if he goes up against Haney, it's a bad style matchup. I'm not saying he can't win. It's a bad style matchup. Teofimo, same thing. It's a bad style matchup.
I think Devin versus Tank looks a lot like Bivol versus Canelo.
It could, but the thing is like, it's still with Tank. Is like the number one question that anybody has to answer fighting Tank is like, once he lands flush, how are you going to react? And that's the question that anybody that fights Tank gonna have to answer. Because he's going to land something. He's going to land at least one bomb. No, who he's in the ring with.
The problem with that is when he lands that punch. You know what I'm saying? That's that you know, if you look how we fought against Rolly, specifically against Rolly and Leo, where he almost overweighted and he was so patient and he almost got the knockout after 5 or 6 rounds where he didn't look that good and he wasn't active, he will lose the fight. Because if Devin has built up a 6-round, 7-round lead against their Tank, if Tank lands and Devin does get up, it's going to be so much harder because Devin's just going to run. And now you're going to have to chase him. You're going to have to go out and chase him. And when you're behind on the scorecards and you got to chase someone, it's so much of you, it's so much harder. It's better you're going to have to, as you said yesterday, you're going to have to land something early.
Yeah, the hardest guy to knock out is the guy that's running. It's the hardest guy to knock out. It don't matter if it's in a boxing ring, the street, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Gass, he said Regis showed every year of his 35. I mean, when you only land 38 punches, I can't really argue that, but yeah, he was bad, bro. He was real bad.
Was he that bad, or was he just, because what more did you expect from him? Like, I don't understand. Regis can't fight at long range. So what
Right.
did you expect him to do?
More than
He's not going to beat Devin at long range.
more
So
than 38 punches. That's for damn sure. I
no,
expected
but
more than
bro,
38 shots.
if you don't, and this is Jeff, you always say this to me. You're asking someone to show something that they've never shown. You're asking Regis to cut the distance and close the gap against an elite fighter with elite footwork. He ain't ever shown us that he can do that. So
Yeah,
what did the fight was always going to play out at long range. I did think,
yeah.
I thought the coaching and preparation was horrible because Regis said after the fight he didn't expect Devin Haney to move so much. I'm like, bro, what Devin Haney have you been watching?
Bro, and the thing is, and people gotta understand, and I talked about this earlier with Legend. The thing people have to understand is that there's certain types of movement. There's excessive movement where you just doing entirely too much. You're gonna get yourself tired. You have effective movement where you are making the guy reset. That is effective movement. You are making the guy reset. So we're Regis saying I wasn't expecting for him to move so much. Haney wasn't moving in the sense of like he was running. Every time
No,
he did any type of movement, Regis had to reset. And I'm like, that's the point of having effective movement inside of the ring. The two things that we talked about yesterday in terms of what Regis needed to do, he didn't do neither one of them. We said, hey, when Haney throws his jab, you're going to have to throw yours too, just to close the distance so you can work.
he
Didn't
did do that. He did do that.
At times, but the thing is, when he got in there, his feet wasn't good enough to hold Devin in place so he can get some work done.
And
Devin was just pivoting out.
True. And I also felt he wasn't. Again, it goes back to your point, Jeff. He wasn't willing to take shots to land shots, bro. He wasn't willing to do that, bro. Because when I watched that fight, even when you're right, when he was throwing the jab with Devin, it wasn't really with conviction.
Nah.
He wasn't with it. You're right. So he pretty much didn't throw the jab with Devin. It wasn't with any form of conviction because Devin landed that punch early and Regis really didn't want to get hit with that shot again. And this idea that Devin has no power, bro, I don't really want to hear that anymore. Devin's got power, bro.
Bro, you know the thing that's crazy? Like I was talking to Pad Man yesterday, and he's in here. I don't know if he's in here.
Shout out to Pad Man.
Big shout out to Pad Man McGriff. The thing that's funny is that Pad Man he didn't work with him for this camp. He worked with him for the other, I think, 2 or 3 camps. Pad Man, as much as you don't like to admit it, Devin's offense actually got better since you came around, bro. Like, I need for you to start taking some credit, bro. Because as far as like the Kambosos fights, you do have to put your foot down and land some shots against that dude because he's just going to keep coming forward with these crazy movements and stuff like that. So, yes, there are some things that Haney can still work on and things like that, but you have a fighter. If a person has a historically bad performance, the person across the ring from him has to give them a reason to have that bad of a.
Do you think Devin Haney just fights just like Bivol, or am I just missing something?
No, he has a Bivol element in the sense of if you don't get him out of his game, it's probably not anybody that's going to beat him. If Haney, the day Haney loses is the day Haney is completely out of character. So when T.O. lost the Kambosos, he was completely out of character. That's the only time you're going to see Haney lose. You're not going to see Haney on his A game, on his plan A game, and he gets beat.
The reason why I made the Devin Haney Bivol comparison is because they both, as soon as they get anywhere near the ropes, they pivot out. They both stand behind a really good, strong jab. Devin uses more head movement. Bivol uses more high guard, but in terms of establishing distance and making sure that establishing distance and making sure their opponent doesn't come in, I think they both do it very, very similar. And more importantly, they hurt their opponent and they don't get over aggressive. They just go right back to the stick. Like, you don't see them swinging in, wailing in punches. They just, like, there was a few times in the Canelo Bivol fight where Bivol had Canelo against the ropes, and he just wasn't going in. And a few times Regis got hurt, and I just saw Devin just so disciplined and just kept himself calm. That's where I said the comparison between him and Bivol.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that because their foundations in fight is so solid. Like whoever steps in the ring with Devin Haney, you have to hope that they're gonna get out of character. You have to hope that they're gonna get out of character. Like, and you saying with Regis, it didn't work. He did all the trash talking he possibly could. Now, I'm not too familiar with Regis' coach.
He had a new coach for this fight.
So that's not the same coach from the last fight. Well, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, and I don't look at a fighter's just end result. I'm like, what is the fighter saying pre-fight? What is the fighter saying? What is going on in between rounds? What did the fighter say post-fight? There's some
what kind of sparring did you get? That's another question.
Right. So I got questions all across the board in terms of and I pay attention to that stuff.
Did you listen to the instructions in the corner, bro? I thought the instructions in the corner was horrible.
Yeah,
because
I was just like,
Regis said, bro, I can't keep coming. They were saying keep keep pivoting to your right. They're like, I can't keep doing that. You keep sitting me with the right hand. He said that's what Regis said. He keeps hitting me with the right hand. And they were like, don't worry, just keep. I'm like, bro, you can't tell him don't worry, bro. Of course he's gonna be worried. He's getting hit with the right hand.
That's why his face look like that. Like
literally.
You know what I mean? Like, but that's just it's crazy because I'm like, you got a lot of people that are like coaches. And then I do think there's a difference between you being a coach and you being a coach in a fight.
Cornerman, a coach and a cornerman.
Actual cornerman. Right. You have to be a game manager in the fight, in the trenches.
Womack.
Yeah.
Like Richardson. Those guys will look at a fight and dissect the fight whilst the fight's going on.
While the fight's going on. So, and you notice the guys that have the experience doing that because they always hit the mark. They always hit the mark in between rounds. Honest with their guys and all of that. And I think what's happening is I think we need to have a transition of fighters. They need to stick with whoever they're with because I'm like, when you go to a new trainer, I don't believe in you going to a new trainer and then you had the biggest fight of your career.
I think, Jeff, you know, it's like in boxing, you have to have a defense attorney. Like a defense attorney, someone's going to defend you in court, and a solicitor who's going to deal with you outside of court. You know, who's going to get all of the information that you need for camp. You need two different types of coaching. Obviously, Padman knows this more than anything. But in the 9th round, I think I heard the worst instructions I've ever heard in my life, which was don't go forward, start stepping off. Devin will get over aggressive. Devin will come in, try and entice him in. I'm thinking, bro, have you not been watching this fight? Devin has hurt you 3 times and not one time has he stepped on the gas. So why would you think if you step back, he's going to step forward? He ain't doing that, bro. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing. The corner instructions were horrible.
Bro, and it's over the past maybe 2 months. It's some other fighters that like have their dad in the corner, things like that. And it's been some terrible. The guy Brian Norman, he's legendary for sparring wars and stuff like that. He had a fight recently, and his dad literally was just like, I don't know what to tell you, son. Just go in there and go get him. The fuck? Like you're like, what is that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's frustrating to see because when a fighter is in fight, 9 out of 10 of these dudes can't dissect what's going on while it's happening. They need help. They need assistance in terms of what's being done to them and what a guy's trying to do to them inside the ring. And these coaches, a lot of these coaches is terrible in fight. I'm talking in fight. I ain't talking about what you do outside of the ring in the gym or whatever. You might be great at that. But I'm talking about in fight, in between the rounds. A lot of these dudes is terrible. They are terrible. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to the guys that's actually giving the right instructions in the corner and things like that. And that's outside of result. You know what I mean? You take a bread man. Bread man is giving out correct advice
100%.
every single
Redman is a top coach. Redman
top
is a
coach.
top
Top
coach.
coach.
Like,
I'm like,
I'll be honest, there's only a few coaches who can do well in the corner and outside of the ring. Like,
not
I'll
many.
say Bo Mac, he's a great in corner coach. I don't know if he's gonna be the one you're gonna do road work with. I don't know if he's gonna be the one you're
Oh,
gonna
he
be.
gonna be in the car, brother. He gonna be in he gonna be in the car. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, he gonna be in the
So
car. You gonna be running. He gonna be telling you to step on the gas. Hey,
literally,
a little faster.
so there's different types of coaches, but we definitely saw the limit. I think Devin would have still won with a better coach, but I think Regis could have made the fight more competitive if he had better game plan. I felt like the fact that he didn't know that Devin Haney's feet was so good, despite the fact that Devin played high speed chess with the greatest foot. I can't emphasize this enough. The person who has the greatest footwork of the modern era in Lomachenko. You can say anything about Lomachenko. This dude's got terrific feet. He played high speed chess with him. So if he can do that, bro, can only imagine what he can do with you. Bro, the first thing I would have been doing was footwork. The first thing in my camp would have been designed on footwork and closing that distance and setting traps with my feet. That would have been the first thing.
Yeah, and the thing, the reason why he even landed the Mayweather straight right hand in the third round is because the first two rounds he was giving you a combination that you usually don't see with the orthodox fighter fighting the southpaw. He started off a couple combinations with a right hook to the body and a left hook over the top. And I don't know if people was watching like, what the hell is Devin Haney doing? And I'm like, really? I said he was bringing Regis' eyes down. He was bringing Regis' eyes down. Them first two rounds, he landed a couple right hands to the body and that left hook over the top.
That
You know
catch 45 as well, Jeff.
Yeah,
the catch 45
that 45 uppercut too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's next level offense. Like, you're not necessarily throwing punches to land it. You're throwing stuff to set up things for a little later on. And Regis ran right into that right hand because he was taking them body shots the first two rounds. He was throwing them consistently. Right hand to the body, left hook over the top, and the 45 shot, the 45 uppercut. And he caught Regis just standing there. He caught him standing there.
so many times.
Yeah.
Regis looked like a dude in the rainstorm without no umbrella, bro.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's a great example too. English guy, how is Tank gonna deal with the difference in height, reach? I'm not sure he can overcome that if he fought Haney. He would have to take some risk. He would really have to take some risk, and I mean, like Tank might have to sell out in that fight at some point. He would have to sell out. Padman, he said, only thing I'm gonna do with Regis is go back to basics with all three styles, mid, short, and long, and knowing to use it. His biggest problem is he doesn't have hand placement after the punch.
You're gonna need to teach him how to use his feet, Padman. That's what you're gonna need to teach him.
I was getting ready to say like his feet. He doesn't move. He doesn't move with any type of purpose. You know, that is not me. He does not move.
Who is that?
I don't know. He don't move with any purpose. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't move to set up shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seemed like he just moves just to try to get out the way. But that's it. He doesn't do anything else. Like, but I'm like, is it, I guess another question for Padman, is it too late to be talking footwork? Mid 30s.
That is a real good question, Jeff. Name me a fighter who you've seen improve with their feet as they've got older. I can't think of many. I can see fighters that's reduced or regressed with footwork, but I can't think of many.
I'm gonna give you this example real quick. Take Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti, when he got to the Floyd fight and all of that, you remember they was trying to teach him how to use his feet more and try to use, catch and shoot, shoulder rolls and shit like that. He just didn't have the feet for it. He didn't have IQ for it. He got caught so many times, and this not just against Mayweather, but he was trying to catch punches and he would have his hand the wrong way. He's supposed to have it here, but he'll have it over there. Yeah, like I think it at certain stages in your career, there's just you can't make drastic changes because you're asking them to do that.
Can
And
you
it's
think
like,
of anyone, Jeff? I can't. I'm literally trying my best to think of someone who I know who's drastically improved with their feet after the age of 30.
I can't think. Actually, your feet slows down in the
Exactly.
30s.
I mean, even Ali's feet slow down.
Even
And
Ali's
it's
feet
Ali.
slow down, and Ali, when his feet slowed down, he couldn't even like he wasn't even really pivoting. A lot of
No.
times he was staying in place, and a lot of his defense was him leaning back like this
Oh, high God.
or high guard. So it's either high guard, and Regis was trying to do that too. You notice that he was doing a lot of this,
Yeah.
like a lot of peekaboo, and I'm like, that's that European style, and an elite fighter is gonna run right through that. They gonna
I
be able to
mean,
do that.
the only way you're gonna develop that European style is if you have better dimensions. Like if you're a Klitschko and you got flipping like what 79-inch reach and you're
Yeah,
6'7", then it will work because you're bigger than the dude, you know.
correct.
But if he's bigger than you, that's why Klitschko's style didn't work against Fury because Fury was bigger than him. You know what
Fact.
I'm saying? Like that style only works when a dude's bigger than you. Oh no, when you're bigger than the dude. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Scotty Gotti said, "My guy, how you been, fam? Good to see you still working, bro. We just tapped back in yesterday, man. Just trying to get into a
I
rhythm.
don't know how long we're back for. You know, Jeff.
I don't know, but I'm like 2 days in a row. I'm like, that's a win. That's a win for
Facts.
sure. Jay Brumfield, he said, To at 140 got dropped twice, in the one fight.
He fought against the guy who beat Mikey Garcia, Sandor Martin.
Yeah, Sandor Martin. Yeah. Listen, Jay, like T.O. has had his struggles. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's had his struggles. I'm not going. I ain't gonna argue with you about that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with that at all. Blog said, remember I asked about a dirty fight, which Regis should have applied after round 2, seeing the speed advantage Dev had. Um, again, you asking somebody to do something they
I was
ain't
gonna
used to
ask
doing.
that. You seen
Yeah.
Regis fight dirty before? I ain't ever
Yeah,
seen
I
Regis
ain't
fight
never
dirty
seen
before.
Regis. He talk dirty. He talk real dirty, but he don't fight too dirty. You know what I mean? Um, English guy Padman is right. Prograis is a guy who has always had success with one style and never had to change up. No plan B. Um, I can't argue that. Jay said Taylor was B. Taylor, like I said, Josh Taylor had A level accomplishments. When I look at him inside the ring, I seen B. You know
You
what I'm
you you also got to understand styles make fights. Taylor
saying?
holds his feet.
Facts.
Taylor ain't bounce around the ring like Devin.
Yeah.
You know, so it was easy for Regis to get to him because you're right there. You're right in the kitchen. You know,
Right.
he's letting you in the front door because I want to meet you in the middle.
Exactly.
Devin's like, bro, I got security at the front door, and you ain't getting in.
Right. Right. The admission got to get paid before you walk up in these doors. Straight up. Uh,
Literally.
English guy said, "Nah, Taylor. He made some adjustments, but didn't have to change his style because Taylor and him both wanted it mid
Exactly. That's exactly what I just said.
and were happy to trade. So it was a minor adjustment with the plan A. I agree with that, and that's the same thing
All right.
Shane said, like 100%, 100%. Tommy Bundles, he said To at 22 beat Loma when he was considered pound for pound number 1 more convincingly than a 24-year-old Devin beat Loma.
Yeah,
Uh, they,
that
I mean, they both had. I mean, they both had rough second halves of the fight.
I facts, and I was gonna say I don't think that's a fair comparison, but I get where you're coming from. I don't think that's a fair comparison because I can easily say Devin beat a dude that dropped Teofimo Lopez in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like Devin didn't look nearly close to getting dropped against Cambosis. I don't think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah. Tommy said when Tio was on, he the real deal. No, he's one of the best to watch. He's
100%.
on point.
100%.
Yeah. He said
And
in long.
I picked Teofimo Lopez to beat a lot of these dudes as
He
well.
did. Yeah, for sure. Tommy said in Loma was past prime when he fought Dev.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna
I don't
disagree.
think
I'm gonna
so.
disagree with that. I'm gonna tell you why though, Tommy. the thing with Lomachenko is the losses that he is taking is only been because he started late. That like literally like
He
when
didn't start late against Devin though. He did start late, but he started faster than he started against Teo. Teo didn't throw nothing.
the thing is he didn't start fast enough against Devin. But you can see the only reason I'm gonna disagree with that, Tommy, is because in both of those the fights that he lost, he showed you when he's on, he's dominant. Like at points in the Teo fight, he was dominant. It was points in the Devin fight, he was dominant. You know what I'm saying? You can't be dominant at points in a fight with those two guys, and then I say that you're past your prime. You know what I mean? Now you can look at it obviously age wise, you know what I'm saying? But besides that, when he's on, he's on. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And I think if we're looking at it, we've always seen this because even against Luke Campbell, he didn't start great against Luke Campbell, and Luke Campbell was an elite fighter neither. You know, sometimes it's just your style. Some fighters like to take those rounds to process and figure things out. You know, if you look at someone like Artur Beterbiev, you know, sometimes he needs to be woken up. Sometimes he just goes in there and gets you out of there. But if he feels like he has enough time, he ain't just going to be going swinging. You know, it depends on the type of style and the person you're fighting.
Yeah.
Again, that comes down to having good coaching and corner instructions.
Facts. Tank has never fought a mover, and he has never fought someone with feet. Facts. 100% facts. Scotty said, "Who is that hard hitting small guy who make his opponents refuse to come out the corner? He's scary good, bro. Did you see him the other week fought on Davis undercard? He got to be talking about Subriel Matisse.
You're talking about Matisse?
Yeah, he's talking about Matisse, Subriel Matisse.
Yeah,
Matisse at 140, dangerous fight.
Really good fighter.
Matisse will struggle with someone like Devin, but I think he's got a good chance against Teo because Teo likes to mix it up as well. Whereas Devin will feel that power early and keep it moving.
Yeah, he definitely gonna keep it moving for sure. English guy, he said he's a scary bastard. He is a scary bastard for real. Scotty said, yes, sir, that's him. English guy, Taylor and Regis both hurt each other. It was a toss-up fight. That was about as close to 50-50 as you can get.
Yeah, very that and Bartholomew versus Robert Easter. That was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. I gave both of them 9-9 every fight, every round. 9-9 every round.
Yo, that's funny. Oh man, that's funny. English guy, Matisse is very dangerous, big power and durable, throws a shitload of punches, but likes to have feet planted. So Haney would just box on the outside and win a decision. Facts. Tommy Bundle said Barrios. English guy, me and Chris were saying earlier, Haney put on a Bivol Usyk style performance. Totally
not so much Usyk.
Usyk for Bivol for sure. Total dominant and could have pushed for a stoppage, but was so far ahead. Why even risk it? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If he'd have mashed on the gas, he might have been able to get Regis up out of there.
Of course,
I think Regis was looking for a reason.
That's why I said I'm not so much Regis, because Usyk actually looks for knockouts. Like, yeah, he actually tried to knock AJ out, especially in that first fight. He tried to knock him out. He just don't have the power.
He don't get enough credit for that either. He don't get enough credit for that neither. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You look at that 12th round. Look at the 12th round that he has against AJ both times, bro. Look who looks like they want that knockout, bro. You can't. Devin on that 12th round just wanted the points decision. Usyk in that 12th round, you can see, bro, he was trying to go for the knockout. That's why he got the knockout against Dubois, bro. He's trying to hold his feet. He just don't have the overall punch power.
But he understood the assignment too. Like, you can't walk into any fight with AJ and think you're gonna be comfortable on the cards. So I'd have been trying to go for it all too. Scotty said Matisse got them folks on notice. I don't know. I saw something I haven't seen since I don't know when.
He's a good one.
McGriff is in
Mr.
the
McGriff.
building,
You see where I'm
bro.
at, right? You see
I
where
see
I'm
where
at.
you at. Hey,
You
hey,
see
hey,
where I'm
hey,
at, right?
hey, bro.
I don't go nowhere else
How,
but the gym, man.
hey, Padman, how bad was Regis last night?
Woo! Man, he couldn't hit a parked car with a Uzi. That nigga couldn't even find a crack spot in the crack house.
Yo.
I think that nigga still had his slippers on last night. I don't know what the hell was going on with that.
Jesus.
Yeah, I gotta
Bro,
borrow. I gotta
that's a
borrow
good
that
point.
first.
Padman, he was wearing sandals or slippers or flip flops or something,
I
bro.
don't know
His
what
feet
the
was
hell he had
horrible.
on. I tell you what, I gotta get out of here because you my boys, y'all more important. Fuck this shit. Ain't no hoes up in here anyway. But
Padman, he felt like he had arthritis in his knees, bro.
yo, listen, it's not so much his feet work was bad. His game plan, he didn't work on it long enough. You know, when fighters don't work on their game plan long enough, they're fucking lost after the fifth round. They're like, okay, I didn't work on my game plan enough. I didn't do enough. I didn't work on my shit enough, man.
Hey, coach,
Nah,
you familiar with Regis' coach for the fight?
all I can see is that motherfucker eat a lot of sandwiches, talk a lot of shit with Bill. You can't let Bill. You get fed into Bill, you already lost. You gotta smile like I used to do at practice.
But Padman, did you hear after 9 rounds? Yeah, when the coach said to Regis, which I thought was the worst form of advice ever. He said, "Don't worry, Devin's gonna come after you. Just back off." Did you hear when the coach said that? I was
Is that the
thinking, bro,
dude with the? Is that the dude with the long hair?
yeah, the
With the
dude with the
yeah,
long hair.
yeah. Do you know any trainers that got long hair like that?
No,
Good question. I'm trying
No,
to
but
think.
seriously,
That's crazy.
like you got to stop following these trails of bullshit when people tell you they are a coach. So, you know, I came out with a thing years ago. I certify boxing coaches. I certified about 20 coaches. They all do good. They all get work. It's not always about who's in your corner. Who is going to teach you for the rest of your career? Just because you became a professional and a pro fighter doesn't mean you're gonna what, stop learning right there. That's impossible. You can't do it that way. So in the process of the meantime, I've learned a lot too. I've
Right.
learned a lot by being in camps, in certain camps, and what type of camps that I want to be in, what type of people I want to be around. So I make my decisions, and there's only two decisions that you guys can really make. You know what they are? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Only two
Well,
decisions. So I
that's
chose
real.
to walk away from them. I chose away from them because
Hey, yo,
Padman,
your
you're
voice
breaking up.
cutting in and out.
You're breaking up.
it was not needed.
Padman, you're breaking up.
Better.
Hey, bro, you breaking up a little bit.
Mr. McGriff.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
All right,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
I thought it was a better choice for me to walk away because I care about my friends
Right.
first before business. And what I mean by that is no matter what was said, I did my job better than everyone there. And that's how I felt. That's how much confidence I had. But some things didn't make them satisfied that had nothing to do with work.
A coach, but with that, a coach, but with that being said, I guess in a sense you got to take some credit for how he looked last night.
Oh yeah, against a 35-year-old, which he should have. But
No, like
in all three of you guys' cases, he's he's the hottest fighter. It's got to be knockouts to make statements. Like an average fight is cool. After a while, I started making popcorn and fell asleep. You know, I don't want to see boring fights. What's he going to do next? I want to see like some competition. Why not go to the top source and fight the top source? The way this world is now, shit can change any minute. You could be out of here tomorrow.
no, I agree with that. I agree with
So
that.
I'm almost 60 years old, man. I ain't even complaining. So
Right.
I make decisions for myself, and I'm older than them, and I'm more mature than some of the guys that I was around when I was with them.
Right.
And most of them were cool with me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not gonna let me teach my art, then why did I become a trainer?
Right. So I got a question. Is there anything that you seen last night from Haney and you was like, okay, that was my stamp right there. The reason he did that was because of me. Like, did you see anything from him last night to where it was like that was a Padman stamp?
Yeah, the range is always going to be me because I'm longer than everybody he ever trained with. Most of the guys he got back down there now are the same guys he had with, and then he replaced it. One time he had like 6 coaches, then he got rid of some, and then he kept Ramon, which is a young upcoming pad holder, and they like to try to compare him to me. No one can make my ice cubes, cuz.
I feel
It's funny, Padman, because you spoke about the distance. I think that was probably the biggest.
Oh,
It's probably what won Devin the fight yesterday. The fact that he was able to keep this.
yeah.
how long we been talking about it?
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
like when the situation's over with, I have say so because it's equal rights, and I'm still going to always, watch my back and do what the fuck I want to do because this is my life. Just like you guys have control of your lives, and you're my friends,
Right.
and will always be my close friends before fighters, and that's the truth because fighters are a fucking job. You guys are my associates and my friends. It's 2 different things that belong in that category. When ruthless motherfuckers and different type of people and people think they know more than you or whatever the circumstances is, I don't want to be around you.
Hey,
I'm
coach,
old enough.
is it hard to balance that out? Like when you're working with fighters and camps and things like that, is it really hard to balance that out?
For me, no, because I travel so much. I've been in like 27 countries training fighters. So I got used to just being on the road by myself, go make this fucking bread, bring it home. That's what I was always into.
I know you and Devin don't have the best of. I don't want to say you don't have the best of relationships right now. I don't really know your relationship, but in it, part of you, like for me, I look at Devin and I still am very happy for what he's accomplished. Do you have more?
For sure.
Do you have?
My
Do you have
doings,
that?
my doings are in there, but I'm not gonna brag about my doings.
But but Padman, but to be honest with you, bro, I'm just gonna keep it a stack. If you compare Devin with the two Cambosis fights and the Regis fights, I can't think of really a stretch where Devin looked that
Nothing
offensive,
changed.
like
Nothing
that
changed.
offensive. Do you
I
think?
thought they were the exact same fights. By the way, he fought the exact
Nothing's
same style.
changed. Nothing's changed.
But do you
And
think he
Regis
was more
Prograis,
effective offensively?
Regis
With the
Prograis,
weight, of course. With the weight.
Regis Prograis fought the same level as Cambosis.
I ain't gonna lie, Cambosis put up more of a fight than
For sure. For
yeah,
sure.
Cambosis
But
at least met him in the middle of the street.
a loss is a loss.
No, that's a fact. That's a
A
fact.
loss
That's
is
a
a
fact
loss.
for sure.
Even though we're sports critics and we're coaches and trainers, we still have our opinion that is always going to 100% add up and count on all four ends of ours. So, that's what we do. We talk about boxing. This is our lives, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do,
This is
hey,
our
coach,
lives.
do you think I guess two questions. Do you think Devin is reached his peak in terms of just how much better he can get? And if the answer is yes, he's reached his peak, how much farther you think he can go just in terms of his career?
Discipline wise, he's still getting past fear. He still doesn't understand where he is at. Can you see that in him when you look at him? And sometimes how twitchy he is about his punches. Have you ever noticed that? It's a psychological thing. And he's getting better at it. Each fight, he's got more comfortable about it. And we all know the reason why he got uncomfortable with me. We ain't gonna even talk about it because it's bullshit. Well, I don't even want to talk about it. But like I said before, my motherfucking friends come first. That's what comes
What do you
first.
think of the what do you think of the weight? You've been with him in camp before, and obviously in camps where he's had to make 35, some of the hardest camps he's ever had. What do you think about him moving to 40?
Well, what's 5 pounds? That's like putting pressure on your neck for a couple of seconds. That's 5 pounds. It's not a lot.
So you don't think him having that additional weight going into the fight made a difference in terms of punch power or anything? Because we haven't seen Devin drop or hurt a fighter in a while. And he obviously got the knockdown, and a few times he hurt Regis.
Shane, we all know he's rolling his deck of cards in the right category to make more money. And he's making more money with it now because he's more flashy, which is okay. Because that's what makes money in America and anywhere else. But talent has to at least be 60%. You can have 40%, to look at, but you need at least 60. He got 60%. Now, if he can stay on the right path, and be 100% each way, then you're looking past shit like Crawford. That's not going to happen to me right away. So he got a lot of time consuming.
I mean, more in terms of the power at 140. What did you think about his power at 140?
It looked the same. It looked the same because Regis Prograis didn't even. I mean, I don't know. He looked like he didn't have a game plan, and it looked like he said to his wife at the table, "Well, babe, this is it. I ain't gonna go out on the shield, but I'm gonna go out on with a bang. We're gonna have some bread."
Hey, coach, if and I know over the years Devin's brought in like a variety of coaches and things like that. With you having a lot of knowledge in terms of coaches that's in the sport, going forward, is there a coach that you would say would be a really good fit for Devin in terms of just his future development? Is there anybody in the game?
Oh, that's gonna be tough because let's all understand that he's an athlete, first of all.
Right.
But athletes don't make you a champion. It's the knowledge. You know, it all works in a pattern. It's all a percentage wise. So when it comes to teaching and the learning process, he'll take it and run with it for a while and then doesn't want to really like work on it, practice on it. He figures he got it and he'll restore it.
Padman,
But
from what I can see, and it's a bit of a build up of what you're saying, I would personally say he almost has to keep his dad. Not because his dad's a great coach, but his dad is the only person who he emotionally listens to. That's the person who can that's the person who he actually listens to. He doesn't
oh
really
yeah,
like
his
I've seen him
father's
with Ben Davis, and his dad is the person who can keep him mentally in tune.
well, there was times where Bill came to me too, man. You know, like my relationship with Bill wasn't that bad. It was just like I said, something was said and it was the wrong thing that they accused me of. And like I said, we ain't gonna talk about it. And that's why they got so distant with me. And that's why they wouldn't listen to any of my training. So I'm
I'm actually curious. Do you know what it is, Jeff?
In terms of we've talked about it.
Bro, it's the same thing we're talking about before.
Yeah.
The
thing about it though,
they accused me and blamed me that I gave the information. Meanwhile, the information is on social media. I didn't have to say shit.
Yeah, it's the same situation from a while ago.
So
but
once that happened though, Jeff, the turmoil began right there. The not speaking, and then also disengaging from social media with me, not giving me any notoriety, which I didn't give a fuck about notoriety if I'm making money. If I ain't making no money, then I got concerns about notoriety.
Right.
I got some concerns about notoriety. If I'm not making any money, really, I'm going to ask questions. Well, I got tired of asking questions, and I just said, you know, thanks for everything. I was kind about it.
Right.
Did you ever go back into the camp?
Huh?
Would you ever go back into their camp?
No. I said that shit before you even finished the sentence.
Fair enough.
Do you think it's just because it's just, you know, it was too many alphas in the room?
No, man. It's just that they're family first, just like all these other camps and these teams with their daddies and their mommies and their families and their cousins.
Did he freeze?
That's
He's frozen.
it.
There you go.
That's it. That's what they do. They take care of their family. That's all they get. That's all. All these coaches get is some little bit of paper. We take them to the top, and they figure 70% of the notoriety of someone being a champion makes you look good. I thought it was building a team and a legacy together, not splitting up.
Hey, Pam, man, for just for the record, for the people that don't know, were you with Haney for the Lomachenko camp? And if so, how much work did you do with Haney for the Lomachenko camp?
5 months. And I flew to Australia for 30 days, made 30 G's, 30 days. I trained, made $1,000 a day. I was training people back to back because he had a little break and I think he had went to Dubai. So when he came back, I came back. We got back busy. We did another 3.5 months there. So I did a month and a half before I left, and then I did 3.5 months when I came back. So You talking 5 months, 5, 6 months of work.
Were you in the building for the Lomachenko fight?
No, I didn't even go to the Lomachenko fight, man. I didn't want to go because I had so many stomach pains going on. I had an ulcer going on.
Okay.
I went to the doctors that day. I went down to pick up my uniform for the fight for the next day, and I wasn't going anywhere.
Okay. Let me run through these
My
comments.
health is more important.
Absolutely. That's no debate at all. Let me run through these comments real quick though. Because we're gonna get up out of here in a minute. But Tommy said Tank feet some of the best in the business. I don't know if I
No
agree
shot.
with that.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
I
I
don't agree
don't,
with I
I
don't
Tank's
don't
know
know
feet,
about
about
that.
that.
Yeah.
Tank's feet. Oh man,
Don't know about that.
you got on pop bottle lens glasses if you think Tank's
Yeah,
feet is fucking good. Tank pushes
What did he? What
everybody
did he
one
just?
way
What
to.
did? What did? What did? What did? What did you just say?
What you say, Steph? Repeat that, Pat, man.
If you if you think Tank's feet is good, you got on pop bottle lens glasses.
Yo, he on
No
fire today.
disrespect, champ. I'm just joking with you,
Right.
man.
No, but
Uh,
Tank definitely don't
But
have the best feet in the business, bro.
Tank Tank
Tank don't
pushes
even have top 10 feet, bro.
nah, he don't.
Tank pushes you one way just to knock you out.
Of course.
Yeah,
He knows
yeah.
how to. He knows his game plan punches.
His
He's a
his power
setup artist.
his power makes his feet look a lot better than what it actually is.
Tank don't
Guys is
have
not
better.
really moving.
Tank don't have better feet than someone like Alexander Usyk, for example.
Yeah.
Hey,
English.
when I
Mhm.
seen when I when I seen Regis Prograis feet like he was standing at the welfare line together in the fight last night, I said, "This nigga." I said, "This nigga, what is this nigga Candy Cane jumping or something?" Nigga,
Bro.
oh my
Yo.
God, his feet was there for so long. I thought that nigga had fat shoelaces. Was about to start breakdancing.
Yo. Yeah. It wasn't good, brother. It wasn't good. Let me run through these real quick though. English guy said baseball last night. Tank won't do shit with Haney. He needs to stop picking on little guys and finally step up. Tank's becoming a bit of a joke in my eyes. Is he ever gonna step up? As long as Floyd controlling his career, I don't think so. But Jay said,
You know,
huh?
it might be too late. They might not even fight. You know who might even fight him in about 2 years?
Who?
Carmel Moulton.
Yeah, that's Floyd's little
Yep.
protege right there. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't think
Jay
they're
said,
even thinking about Devin Haney and Tank fighting. Tank got to get
nah,
past
they not.
Tiafimo. Tank got to get
Um,
past Tiafimo. That's why Top Rank is keeping Devin around and practicing at his facility. Because
right.
they making that happen. Because he ain't even signed with Top Rank. That was a favor. So he went out of bounds and got a fight, and they let him come back inbounds. He gonna sign with them, and that's gonna be the biggest fight. Tiafimo and Devin Haney.
Bro,
Tank ain't gonna even be included. There's gonna be so much bread on the fucking table. It's gonna be ridiculous, bro.
yeah, I
And
feel
that's
you.
the truth. That's
Yeah,
straight up source, straight from the horse's mouth. The truth. Like I'm around, the right people. You know, I'm just
yeah,
around the right people on what's going on. And like they told me, a source says, no, it's okay. We don't need to sign him. He can go outside the box and make some money with his own promotion. Because when he come back, it's gonna be him and Tiafimo for the biggest purse you're gonna see in years. In years.
Tommy Bundles, you're saying
Woo!
Devin fought Loma, Regis, and Jojo Diaz, all little guys. Regis is at 140, but if I'm correct, Lomachenko, well, is he probably the same size as Tank in terms of height wise? And
Yeah,
right.
they're pretty close. Him
Yeah,
and
so
Pitbull Cruz. Somebody's walking Pitbull Cruz though. They got a leash on his neck. That nigga's so
Oh
small.
man, there's a party up in this joint, man. Big shout out to my dog Lance Layham Down Williams. What's up, bro?
Yo, what it do, baby?
What's up with you? Hey, yo, listen. What you see last night?
Boxing. I didn't think anybody would actually have Haney losing him, did they?
It was
it's supposed to be a close
Well,
fight.
it was supposed to be. Supposed to be.
Well, Regis had us convinced.
He had us convinced, though. He did. I ain't gonna. That's no lie there. He had us
That
convinced.
nigga had us convinced. I'm coming up, fuck that nigga. That nigga was
Man.
all miniature all in it. He was miniature all in this shit.
My man had us all convinced. He had us all
Miniature all leaf looking ass.
But I said, he
Nigga.
came
Bro,
out.
you would have bet your last dollar on Regis the way he was talking, bro. You would have bet your house and home on Regis the way Regis was talking, bro. You would have sold the house, you would have sold the children's school fees, everything, bro. Betting on Regis. I'm gonna hurt that little boy. That's what he kept saying.
It was crazy. It was crazy, man. Like Lance, watching Regis, was it more so Devin Haney was that good, or Regis was really, really bad?
A combination of both. It was definitely a combination of both. Like, you say Spence, he could have been weight drained or, all types of excuses for Spence. He had the accident he was still recovering from. He ain't never been the same since the accident. So he got a little excuses. Regis? Where's the excuses at? Like, you didn't perform for nothing.
And let's be
paid
clear.
a
That flat
payday.
footed guy, like Tank said.
Yeah, and to be clear, he lost his last fight too.
Yeah.
Let's be clear on that. He lost his last fight. He just got a decision. You know what I mean?
Regis Prograis turned into Regis Feldman. Fuck
Yo,
that nigga had us all convinced.
He had us all. That ain't no cap, man.
Bro,
That nigga had us all.
Bro,
convinced,
listen,
nigga.
I'm not gonna lie. I gotta put this disclaimer out there. I know the live cooking when I'm behind in the comments. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I ain't gonna get to all of it. I'm just gonna let y'all know. I apologize. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna try to run through some of Tommy Bundles. We read that one. Scotty said Tank looking he said he looking Bud like with the pivot. I don't know about that, brother.
I don't think so.
Nah. English guy, Tank's never been in a fight where he wasn't a clear favorite. That's a fact. I'll give you that. He said it meant Devin. Scotty said he meant Devin.
Oh, okay.
Tommy Bundles Tank is a different animal. I mean, his power is unreal. His power is real.
To be honest with you, man, I don't even think Devin worked as hard as he had to with Kambosos.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so you felt like he worked harder. He worked harder training for. I feel you.
We was down there. We was in Australia, man, for a month. I think. 6 weeks? I think. No, 4 weeks. And I just kept pushing him on long.
No, he worked real hard. He even had to work hard to make weight for the Kambosos fight.
Coach, you know what? That's a good segue. Like the second fight with Kambosos, like how bad was the last 48, 72 hours of the weight cut?
It was like a hot seat, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You can't talk to motherfuckers, man. I just stay away, It's a weight cut. You know how motherfuckers get, especially champion fighters, if y'all want to keep it real. That's
facts, bro. I've seen dudes.
Stay out their way.
I've seen dudes on fight night, bro. They're some real miserable people, bro. Like, real miserable.
Hey, coach, how like for that second Kambosos fight, I guess take us behind the scenes a little bit. Like I guess maybe last 24, 48 hours. Like how many pounds was he off from what you remember from getting to 135?
He was already on, man. He was 134.6.
This was like 24 to 48 hours before the weigh-in.
Yep.
Okay.
He was already ready, and he was still eating.
Why did he look so drained on this? You know that the weigh-in where he looked so sucked in and he looked kind of weak. Why did he look so feeble?
Well, he couldn't run outside because at the time it was kind of chilly. So he stayed on the elliptical for like hours, man.
Damn.
It's one thing I can say about Devin. He knows how to get in shape. But I think where he needs to be with his career, now I'm being honest as a coach, and that's somebody that I worked with, it's going to be here for him. Mental. Right. Because he wants to make better decisions, and you can see, like I said, and you can see sometimes there's a twitch in what he wants to throw and not sure. So time will progress mentally. He'll be a great fighter, but he's always going to have the reputation as a runner.
Yeah, it's in a sense,
it's not really running, it's defense.
Yeah,
it's that's boxing.
Yeah, it's kind of damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because I'm like, if he goes in there and fight his fight, they're gonna say he's running. If he stands there and actually hold his feet, they're gonna be like, oh, well, he's fighting out of character, or something like that. So it's like, but it was the same thing with Floyd. Like if Floyd fought smart, they said he was running. If he stood there and fought, they was like, why is he fighting the other person's fight?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's just. That's just what it is. The one thing I will say about Haney, for all of the things he could possibly improve on, for him to be where he's at with all of these things that he could possibly improve on, is impressive. You know what I'm saying?
The thing of it is, and you're going to understand exactly where I'm coming from. You make a fast move, you see a bitch with a nice ass, you grab that ass, expect to get hit.
Oh God.
Yeah, facts.
So if you're gonna do this to me, and be like, how was that? You're going to be sick. You're going to be, And I think the whole process of it all is you got to have a thinking cap before. You got to have a process that's going to have you in the progress of thinking before. No matter what they're doing, you still have to dictate. Yeah. And like, I know Devin because I know Devin because I worked on his step back a lot and through the jab, and my defense is always defense with pad work.
Yeah.
And like I had a great time training him, and I'll also have to say that I learned a lot being in the camp. But every camp that I'm in, I learn a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that just comes with territory.
I'm more poised than anything. I'm a teacher.
Right.
So I would rather you listen to me and we get it on them pads, and I teach you through pads and show you how to fight me on them pads instead of sitting there and doing drills all the time with the coaches that they have, which I don't take nothing away from none of those coaches, man. You know why? Man, I don't give a fuck about them, bro. It's my life. I'm 60.
Right.
Them niggas can kiss my ass. I'm here for work.
Hey, coach, and Lance, you can answer this too. A prime example of somebody that's that does all the fancy stuff on the pads, but it really don't translate to the ring. Like if you look at Montana Love, Montana Love look like a globetrotter on the pads. Man. But when it come down to end fight, it don't translate.
It don't do none of that.
Translate.
No,
it
don't translate. I say it all the time, G5. I say it all the time. If you're going to throw 4 punches, at least slip and roll after it.
Yeah.
Make it in the combination. Do it the same way as you do it on the pads as you fight somebody.
I'm
Because
about to say, man, I've always loved pad work to simulate a real fight. I don't need to sit there and throw 30 punches and make it look all beautiful and all that other crap,
you
man.
call a nigga up the next day, be like, "You want to do pads again?" Be like, "No, nigga, my shoulder,
I'll
nigga."
sit there and you know that repeat. You got like Bruce Lee would say. I fear a man that practiced one move a thousand times before I fear somebody who practiced 1,000 moves. You know,
Right.
For sure. For
and
sure,
that
man.
pretty pad work. That's 1,000 moves. You ain't learning nothing. You may like that's not gonna transition into the fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
man.
people.
That's why I don't be sweating no more when people talk shit and say, "Yeah, I don't know if you want to train with him. He wants you to have your hands way out here."
I
That's not
but
what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. If
yeah,
your hands are here, why should your hands be there too? You should have them way out by his shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Why you?
yeah. But
That doesn't make any sense.
but that's
That's
old. But
just a
actually, that's old
strategy.
school. That's old school
Strategy.
coaching too. That's old
Yeah,
school
man.
coaching. Like you want to get your hands closer to the target, you gonna get there quicker.
Yeah, you don't want them motherfuckers near you.
Mm-mm.
Like,
Right. And then if you got your hands like this, you almost blocking your own vision. Like
yeah,
that's a
Yeah.
European style. And
yeah,
that's why elite fighters they take advantage of that European style defense, that little peekaboo defense. Elite
yeah,
fighters are running through that. They running through
yeah,
that all day.
Boy, you catch people with that
yeah,
looping right. Bam.
Yeah.
They
Them
got that
looping
yeah.
right.
shots, you can hit them
You
with the
gonna
looping
like that
shots.
punch coming around that. Bam. Catch
Hmm
him.
Yeah,
You
You
punching
ain't
in.
seeing it.
There's space in between all that. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
why even block your vision? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Doing that. Like that's really what be happening. But people see Floyd doing that fancy pad work from back in the day, and then everybody just wanted to start doing it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you actually improving doing that?
Nothing.
I never
Are you
understood it.
getting? If you think you're getting any eye coordination out of it, you're still not.
No.
Because I tell people all the time, if you look in the middle of those pads, what's it have? It has a target piece in there.
It has that target in there.
And people always looking at your chest, trying to hit pads when they ain't fighting nobody. You fighting those pads.
Mm-hmm.
You should be slipping those pads. Like if you go on my page, you'll see me hitting pads. Every time you come forward with them hands, I'm looking at them hands to smack them down. Am I right, Jeff?
Absolutely.
I smack them
Absolutely.
down and I throw my punches. Everybody
Absolutely.
wants to go, "Huh?"
Yeah. But it's and it's and they do the same. They do the same pattern so much. It's like it's scripted. So when you watch them in fight, so if a guy's throwing a combination, it's not your traditional combination. They don't know how to respond to it. They're responding to actual. They're not responding to rhythm. You understand what
It
I'm saying?
hurts.
Yeah.
They're
It hurts.
responding to almost like a process. Like
No.
they were used to seeing a certain amount of punches coming in a
Yep.
certain way in camp. So they knew to go
Yeah.
here with it, here with it, here with it. In an
Don't put
actual
all
Yeah.
fight,
the
you're not actually adjusting to the shots. You're adjusting to the
dog
rhythm
gonna
that you
come.
established in camp.
Back up.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. He used to argue with me with his pops, and I'd be like, "Look, man, I'm just trying to tell y'all need 3 ranges. You need hand placement in 3 ranges." And last night, I seen a little bit of it. I was happy to see it from Devin. I seen his range was a lot better because he doesn't understand that he has the longest reach from the 130 and the 140 division. Nobody.
Dang, dog, get up off me.
Dog want to be on the show too. He's like, man, damn that. I want in. You done hit the mute button, brother.
I was about to say, yeah, what happened?
Yeah, he in there cooking and he done turned the stove off.
Hey,
You
you
know what I'm
got the
saying?
cook
There
on.
you go.
All right,
There you
all
go. I said, don't be cooking and turn the stove off on us, brother. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah, but you, hey, coach, but I listen, man. I like, and sometimes things don't work out with people, man. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to take some credit in this because his last 3 fights, he even though he might have been doing the same things, he was more assertive in the two Cambosis fights, in the Regis Prograis fight. And you have to take some type of credit for that. You understand what I'm saying? You have to take some type of credit for that.
And I taught different than everybody else there.
Understood.
All the other coaches doing the same thing, man.
But coach, but this is the thing though. You can actually say for the amount of time that I worked with Devin Haney, he looked this way offensively. Like sure. he was dominant in the two Cambosis fights offensively. He got what he wanted. The Regis fight, he got what he wanted. So even though things didn't work out exactly how it was supposed to work out, you kind of seen somewhat of a finished product in terms of what you brought to the table. So you have to take credit for that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I have a certain style. I have 3 certain styles. Hand placement. And once he started learning that and getting better at it, I mean, I guess he got tired of me touching him too with them pads. Like, look, man, you got to block that shit. When I throw shit at you, you should be thinking the same way on pads, just like you on
in a real fight.
Yeah. So
facts.
I think that's where I make good common sense and not just people thinking I'm some pad guy. I'm a coach. I'm a master at this shit.
Have you ever thought about actually like running a corner in a fight?
I've just finished a corner in Oregon with my boy JJ Marino.
Okay.
I had 2 other fighters, and then I'm going to Canada. So, corners, I don't care about corners. See, corners, anybody can get their corner, but what the fuck are you teaching them?
Well, the reason I asked that though is because there's a lot of coaches that's not really giving out sound advice in between rounds.
They don't, man.
That's why I asked the question. Like, have you ever thought about making the transition of doing more, like actually being the lead corner person?
If I had to, I'm not gonna say I don't have the connections. I'm just being lazy about it because I'm at that age of 60. But if somebody connected me with someone, I would definitely turn up to another level because that's what I do, man. I'm a trainer. I'm a full-time coach, full-time trainer. And I tell people all the time, when I was in Thailand for 4 months training the Muay Thai fighters, and I won all them championships on one championship because their hands were better. Is the reason why is because consistency over and over and over. Practice it. Don't just do it. Put it in motion and do it. Don't just do it when you're on the pads. Do it when you sparring and practice it, because that's what sparring is for. It's for practice. It's not to showboat and to show somebody that how good you are and people behind you going, oh, that was good, and practice. We need to save that shit for the real thing, man, on game day when you got your game clothes on,
What we talking about? Practice, coach? We talking about practice? Practice? What we talking about, coach? Practice? Practice. Not a game, not the game. Practice. The thing is, and Lance, like, quick question, like, you hear a lot of guys, they talk about sparring sessions and things like that. Me personally, I think sparring sessions where guys get the better of somebody in a sparring session, like I think it's overrated. Me personally, do you think it's overrated?
Oh, it's definitely overrated. Sparring is not the fight.
Yeah,
sparring is not the fight. How many times have we heard of somebody getting the best of Floyd while sparring?
Right.
What happened when Floyd stepped in that ring come fight night? You don't never hear about somebody getting the best.
Right.
There was a fighter. I ain't gonna mention his name, but he wrote up on his Instagram, the king of sparring. But nigga, you've been losing your fights.
Yeah, sparring is great.
Especially when you ain't making no money.
We all need that sparring. But when you ain't no win and it ain't no loss.
You ain't making no money when you
ain't no money coming. you might go into you might get paid to show up at a camp or some shit, but that ain't your eating money.
Yeah.
That ain't your bill money.
That nigga come in to spar and got zirconian on, nigga.
And even when you got you got guys that play basketball. You don't never see them in the game, but in the layup line, they doing all types of tricks and stuff like that. Like that's really what, because
Throw your
you
shoe
hear
up,
guys
put your
like
shoe on and dunk the ball.
yeah, like you hear guys like Brian Norman, like he's a gym legend as far as like sparring stories and stuff like that. There's other guys that I think the guy Kevin Mitchell, he's another guy that they're talking about on social media right now. But this is just like, I just feel like it's overrated. And I'm like, okay, you had a good sparring session with some. Yeah, you're like, you had a good sparring session with somebody. Okay, cool. When is your actual next real fight? Like, what are we doing?
Really
like,
do?
Yeah, like you're leaving it in the gym, and I do think fighters can leave it in the gym.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just crazy, man. It's like so good to hear from you, brother, and just to come on your show and just, because I've been off your show for about what, good year?
I've been off my show for a minute. So
hey, G5, it's been a minute since I haven't seen you on the show.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Support. You need support. You got me. All you gotta do is hit me up, champ.
For sure. For sure. I listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick, because we're gonna end this thing. I know how good the show is by how far behind I am in the comments.
Yeah,
bro. The last comment I've actually read was at 11:54. All the ones from 11:54 on have not been read. So I gotta send apologies to Tommy Bundles, Scotty, Chris G, English guy Jay. Is when I say it is flooded. Charles Wilson, big shout out to you, bro. That's how you know.
I second them shout outs for them too.
For sure. Like it's crazy, you know. But coach, it's been a pleasure, man. Like it's to get that insight, a lot of people can't give, especially from Devin Haney's end. But like I said, man, like it's his last 3 fights, he has been the most assertive offensively in his last 3 fights, and nobody can really take that away, and that's just the bottom line of it. So, and it's a testament.
He has a career where he's making money.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, and coach, and this is the thing, like for them to bring you out for, because the 2 Cambosis fights was his 2 biggest fights of his career, point blank period.
Yeah,
point blank period. Because
I made history with him.
It got him the leverage that he needed to where he's continuing his leverage right now. But he had a legendary performance, man. But coach, give me your social media and all that good stuff, good brother.
Man, my social media is Coach Padman, all one word, man. You hit me up now. Maybe I can send you guys shirts or whatever, just to be a supporter of you and me. So
absolutely,
that's what I do, man.
Yes, sir. Lance Lamb Down Williams, my good brother, man. We gonna link up this week for sure. But definitely give him your social media and all that, brother.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. Lance Lamb Down Williams. I'm the one and only. I've been no superstar, nothing like that, but I'm that man that's gonna grind hard and always show up and go in.
Make sure you
got shirts on deck. You can see Team Lamb Down on millions.
Make sure I'm gonna send both of y'all each other information too, so y'all can keep in touch.
Yeah,
man.
coach, we gotta link up.
Yeah, for sure, man. But listen, man, this has been a absolute legendary show, man. Big shout out to Lance Lamb Down Williams, Coach Padman McGriff, my guy VP Shane. You know what I'm saying? Ty Finney, the legend, man. About 2 hours worth of cooking, man. Listen, it'll get no better than this, man. So we gonna tap in on social media. Let y'all know the next time we gonna tap in. We gonna get Tree and all them guys on there too. Yeah. Hey, coach, there's a couple guys from Iowa fighting next week too. Actually, Cruz Hitman Stewart. He gonna be fighting Kyron Davis.
Where is that
next week?
Where's that at?
Minnesota. That's on the David Morrell card.
Nice.
Hey, bro, your boy Andre Berto fighting on that card too.
I'll say Berto fighting on that card. Check out.
Hey, man,
trying to get a couple dollars.
Yeah, Berto came. He was just he was just in the kitchen cooking omelets, brother, and he right back in there, brother.
He's a good kid too.
Nah, he a good dude, man.
Yeah,
Good
but
dude.
what you said about Regis though, man, you give me 3 months with Regis, he'll be a different fighter, man.
I was gonna say like Regis obviously needs to look at some alternatives. So I mean I'm gonna clip that and put it out there, man. Regis
Yeah,
might
man.
have to come give you a phone call.
Here's the problem too, fellas. And I know y'all gonna understand. When it comes to this coaching thing, man, you can't go off of somebody's reputation. You gotta actually do your due diligence 1st.
Mhm.
See what kind of training they do. Just because they got this person to the next level, guess what? That person that's on the next level was already on that level.
Yeah, and they training may not work for you.
Right.
That fighter may not work for the trainer. It got to be a fit.
Right. So what is he gonna do for you? Can he do more for you? What do you need to work on? And then, defense.
It's kind of like, coach, like before we go, like it's kind of like some things just don't look like it fit. Like the like Derek James, Ryan Garcia, it just don't look like a fit.
You can tell, man.
Man, I've been saying that from the
moving
gate.
around too slow. He's moving around too slow. Down.
Hey, coach.
He's moving around too slow.
Coach, where Ryan Garcia learned that shoulder roll from, brother?
Bruh, oh my God. No. I saw that and was just like, no, he's not. Don't do this.
He overloads on all his punches. That's why he gets clipped at the end.
Bro, his shoulder rolled so bad, bro. I thought he was gonna hit me with a Mike Jackson 360 spin in the ring, man. I said, what is going on out here? but I mean it's just we all know Derek James is a good coach. Like we all know that.
Yeah.
But he's a good coach for certain styles of fighters. Ryan Garcia is not his
It's
style
not that
of fighter.
style for him.
It's
man.
not his style of fighter.
Derek James is just a trainer now.
Yeah.
He used to be a great
coach. Yeah. So
now he's in a situation where he's just training, and his fighters that come to him are already acknowledgeable and upper echelon and professional.
Mm-hmm.
So
getting duped.
So you think he's really just kind of just fine tuning right now, except for just really like crafting and molding? You think he's really just trying to fine tune these guys?
He's just duping them, man. You can't dupe these fighters, man. Like Earl Spence, me and you talked about it for years, and I said it, didn't I? Earl Spence cannot fight on the outside. How many years did I say that?
I said, well, we talked about that for a while, and it was for years. Even when Spencer's on his hot streak, Coach and I was talking all the time, but we was just like, yo, what's gonna happen when somebody takes his jab away from him? Like, and that's what happened with Crawford.
He was fighting fighters to suit his style.
Yeah, I listen, and the thing is, and I was like
doing the same thing.
But once Bud started throwing this jab with Spence had to start his combinations off with something other than the jab, and he just looked lost after that. Once happened, it was a wrap.
Because he stepped in, not aggressive. When you step in, you're gonna throw something. You step in. You don't just step in, go in, and then try to throw it. Come on.
He didn't know what to really throw because 95% of his offense, the first punch is a jab. Like we've never seen
Spence. At least a feint or a throwaway.
Yeah, we've not no throwaway shots. You've never seen. When have you seen Spence throw a lead hook? That's the first punch of his combination.
He just had so much confidence in his shit that he didn't really realize how fucked up Derek James had it.
Hey, coach, his plan A, but his plan A is legendary. It's just when your plan A don't work and you don't have a plan B, and you run into a guy like Terrence Crawford.
He got A, B, C, D, E, F, G plan.
Absolutely.
Letters and numbers change.
Man.
Absolutely.
Letters and numbers change, man.
Absolutely, man. But I'm gonna link up with both of you guys, man. For the people that's listening, man. Definitely follow Lance Layham Down Williams. Definitely follow Coach Padman McGriff. Y'all already know where I'm at. So we gonna cook up this week. I got a couple fighters coming through for interviews too. I'm gonna wrap with y'all off camera.
That'll be fun anytime you need me, brother.
Couple legends couple legends, old school fighters. Coach, you'll appreciate some
I'm
of
gonna
these
shout
joints
out
too.
to you too, man. Send you some support. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
for sure, man, for sure,
That's
man.
family
So
right there, man. If
yeah,
I'd have
for
known that
sure.
before, nigga, I don't, old school nigga. I got
Look,
midget,
my
I got
dog trying to
midget,
get
I
on
got
camera,
midget hoes,
G5.
nigga.
Hey,
I got
coach.
midget hoes.
Hey, coach, coach, you know when the dog trying to get on the show, you already know what time it is, man. Like,
Man, you
you
see
know what I'm
it.
saying?
Hey.
You already know what time it is, man. But listen, on behalf of
I got handicap hoes. I got midget hoes. I got a few that don't have no teeth.
Yo, listen, man. I'm closing out on that note. Man. Listen, on behalf of Coach Pat, man, McGriff,
Love you
Lance
guys,
Layup,
man.
Dan Williams, VP Shane, Vlog, Typhine the Legend, man. It was a pleasure, man. We out,
Just
bro.
remember that. Just remember that 5 grams.